Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news. All right, Browns fans, there's a lot to unpack here, and I mean a lot. The Cleveland Browns are entering a critical offseason, one that could shape the franchise's future for years to come, especially at the quarterback position. This season has been a roller coaster ride, filled with promising moments and some questions that still linger. The big story right now revolves around Shedeur, the rookie quarterback who's been given a shot to lead this team. And honestly, he's been making some waves, enough to keep him in the conversation as Cleveland's potential franchise guy. But the question is, can he be the guy for the long haul? Shedeur has shown flashes of brilliance, and in a league where every game counts, that's no small feat. Cleveland's coaching staff and front office are watching him closely, trying to determine whether he's the future or just a temporary solution. And that's where things get complicated. The Browns have a first-round pick coming up, and they might use it on a quarterback if they believe that Shedeur isn't the answer. On the other hand, they could also look to bring in a veteran, a proven leader who can step in immediately and help this team contend now. Cleveland's management, led by the front office and coach Kevin Stefanski, are in that classic dilemma. Do they stick with the young guy and see how far he can take them, or do they gamble on experience and try to accelerate their Super Bowl window? It's a tough call, and insiders like Mary Kay Cabot from Cleveland have been reporting that the Browns are still uncertain about what to do. She mentioned that once Cleveland knows their draft position and the prospects available, they'll have a clearer picture of whether Sanders will be their QB1 for 2026. That's a big decision, and honestly, it's a pivotal one in the franchise's history. Right now, Sanders is doing enough to keep himself in the mix. His performance last week, especially in the win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, was promising. He went 17 of 23 for 186 yards, threw a touchdown, and had a couple of interceptions. Not perfect, but certainly enough to show he's got potential. The Browns' defense stepped up big time that game, but Sanders' leadership and poise under pressure were noticeable. Cleveland's fans have been craving that kind of confidence from their quarterback, and Sanders has been trying to deliver. But let's not forget, this is just one game, and in the NFL, context is everything. 7 games isn't enough to definitively say someone is the franchise quarterback, especially at such a pivotal position. The Browns will need to evaluate his traits, his decision-making, his ability to lead in the clutch, and of course, his ceiling. It's a lot to ask for a rookie, but the potential is there. The question is whether Cleveland's front office believes he has enough upside to build around, or if they'd prefer to bring in someone with more experience to give this team a shot at the playoffs in the short term. Sanders himself understands the importance of this moment. After the game, he spoke about how sweet it was to get that first home win. "It's extremely exciting to get the win at home, for sure," he said. "I've been needing to win at home for a minute, so that's what's good, that's what I'm excited for, that we brought that feeling back in this place." That's the kind of attitude Browns fans want to see, humble, hungry, eager to improve. He also acknowledged that there's still work to be done, especially on the offensive side. "It felt good getting a win overall, and especially against the team we beat," Sanders added. "I think it's been bittersweet because I feel like the offense, we got to do our part. I got to do my part a little bit more. We can't be happy with only 13 points on the board, so we just got to be able to put up more points." That's a crucial point. Cleveland's offense still has room to grow, and Sanders knows it. The Browns' coaching staff, including Stefanski, have been impressed with Sanders' growth. Stefanski praised his young QB after the game, saying, "Yeah, obviously he wins, gotta win. So that's great for the young man. Gets to beat Pittsburgh, gets to beat a division rival. So they're not going to be easy, not in this division. So proud of him for that." You can tell leadership is confident that Sanders has the tools, but they're also aware of the areas he needs to improve. His first interception, for example, was a bit unlucky, and the second one shows he's still learning how to read defenses at this level. Looking ahead, Cleveland has one more game this season, facing the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a chance for Sanders to really solidify his case, to keep impressing the coaching staff, and to show the Browns that he can be the guy to lead them into the playoffs and beyond. But regardless of what happens in that final game, the Browns are now at a crossroads. Do they keep developing Sanders as the future, or do they start looking elsewhere? That's the big question, and it's one every Browns fan should be thinking about. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most critical in recent memory. The Browns have been building something special, and they're finally starting to see the pieces come together. The defense has been playing well, and with the offense showing flashes of potential, the future looks promising. But the quarterback position remains the key. Cleveland has always been hungry for stability at that position, and the front office will need to make some tough calls. The team's recent history has been filled with ups and downs, but there's a renewed sense of hope now. The Browns are assembling a roster that can compete with anyone when everything clicks, and that starts with the quarterback. Whether it's Sanders or a new face, the goal remains the same: bring a Super Bowl back to Cleveland. And if Sanders can develop into that guy, Browns fans will be in for an exciting ride. But if not, the team will have to pivot and find a different solution. As we look at the bigger picture, it's clear that Cleveland is in a pivotal moment. This season has shown that they are competitive, resilient, and ready to fight for every yard. The fans are energized, the team is motivated, and the coaching staff is doing everything they can to put the Browns in the best position to succeed. The draft, free agency, and offseason decisions will be crucial, but one thing is for sure: Cleveland is not backing down. They're in the fight and they're hungry for more. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.